It's normal to feel worried sometimes. It's a part of growing up. And there might be lots of reasons why you're feeling worried or anxious. You might be starting a new school. You might be having problems with your friends. You might have lost a relative or somebody close to you. Or you might have moved to a new house or a new town. And feeling worried might affect the way that you think and the way that you feel, and even how your body feels. There are lots of strategies that might help you if you're feeling worried or anxious, like taking a deep breath, listening to calming music, and talking to an adult. When I'm feeling anxious, I like to do things that help me to calm down, like drawing, painting, and making different things. This is different for everybody, but if you, like me, enjoy arts and crafts, then getting stuck into making something might help you feel better and ease your anxiety. Recently, I felt anxious because my cat passed away. His name was Joey. I loved him very much and I miss him every day. So today, I've decided to create a memory box, a bit like this. Making things helps me to calm down, but the memory box will help me to remember all the brilliant things about my cat. To make your memory box, you will need a cereal box or some other strong card. You may also want some coloured card to decorate your memory box, or you can also use paint. You will also need a ruler, a pencil, scissors, glue, sellotape, and a pen. And if you want to make one of these salt dough figurines, you will also need salt, flour, and water, and a big bowl. Okay, so we're going to start off with making the box of our memory box. I'm going to use a piece of cereal box, but you can use a piece of A4 card as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the flaps of the cereal box. There we go. Just going to put these aside. So we're going to be using a ruler, but don't worry because we're not going to be measuring anything. What we're going to be using is just the width of the ruler itself to make some guidelines on our piece of cereal box or our piece of card. So what I want you to do is line up your ruler on the sort of the short end of your cereal box or your piece of card. There we go. It's good to be careful. Make a mark like that. Then we're going to turn this around and do the same on the other short end. There we go. And then you might want to use your ruler to help you do this. We then want to fold against that line that we've just made. So especially if you're using a cereal box, make sure that is really folded. Let's go round to the other side. We're going to do the same there. Then what you're going to do is make sure that these are both folded down, because then I'm going to take the edge, so the flap is tucked underneath, and use this edge to line up with the flap on the other side. And then you're going to fold it. Again, make sure it's really folded down. There we go. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. There we go. So you should just be able to see that there are some fold marks in the middle. It sort of looks like a book cover. Right, then we're going to make sure that everything is as flat as it can be, because what we're going to do is make some marks along the long side of our piece of card or cereal box. And what we want to do is the same that we did last time, that we're using the width of the ruler. There we go. We're going to do that on the other side. There we go. I'm also going to make some marks where you see that you've sort of got the fold marks at the edge in those two middle creases. I'm just going to make some marks, but only up to this point here. Don't need to do the whole of that line, just where it comes up to that long line there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to cut again along those pencil lines, but only up to this longer line here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start assembling our box, and what we're going to start off with is folding over our flappy bits of cards, which we could also call the tabs. We're going to go all along the card, making sure that we have folded those over. Then we start at either end of the short end of the box. What we're going to do is put some glue on the tab, and then we're going to fold it over and fold this bit over to meet it. Now you might want to make sure that this tab here is on the inside of the box, because that makes it just a bit neater. We'll do the same on the other side. So we're sort of doing it on the outside edge, outside side of the box. Okay. Now we may have to be quite patient here and take our time and make sure that we've really pressed down on the glue. If we're finding that it's unsticking, we might need some sellotape to help. The other thing that we can do, if you have them, is to use little bulldog clips to keep the flaps together. There we go. And there we go. And we just need to wait for that to dry. Once it's dry, you could just paint your box, but I'm going to cover mine with card. And to help me figure out what size I need to cut my card, I'm going to use the box as a rough guide. I'm going to draw round my box. And I'm going to try and be very careful and see if I can do it in one piece. There we go. But what I'll do is I'll cut just a little bit more around it because I can always trim it later. Okay. Take some glue, put it on the box. Really push it down. Check my box shuts. Then I'll trim round the edge. And then I'll do the same for the sides. So I've drawn around the sides of the box as a guide. Then I've cut round them, but instead of doing it all in one go, I've done them as strips. And now I'll stick them onto the box. Now I'll trim the excess. I've made sure to take my time to be neat and tidy. It's good to check to see if your box closes as well. Make sure none of the card is stopping the box from closing. If any of the tabs come undone, don't worry, you can just stick them down again. To make sure that my box's edges are extra neat, I'm going to add some washi tape to them. Now you can decorate the rest of the box. For example, you could write your pet's name on a piece of card, then stick that to your memory box. I've decided to add some paw prints as well. So to make the salt dough figurine, you'll need flour, salt and water. So salt dough is 2 parts flour to 1 part salt and 1 part water. So if we take a mug, put 1 mug of flour, then we add half a mug of salt, mix that together. You can use a wooden spoon, but I like to use my hands. We want to make a well in the middle of our salt and flour mix and gradually add our water, half a mug of water. And we might not need all the water, and you'll see it will slowly come together. Your dough shouldn't be sticky, so add a bit of flour if it is. Then you need to knead your dough for a little bit so it becomes a pliable, soft dough. Next, you want to get some parchment paper, and my tip here is to scrunch it up because it means that it will lie flat a little bit better. You need to bake salt dough, so this is a really good time to preheat the oven at 120 degrees Celsius. And always make sure that you have an adult's permission and supervision while using an oven. So then we'll take some of the dough and start to make the figure to go on our memory box. So I'm going to start off with a little sphere or a ball for the head. And make sort of a sausage shape between my hands for the body. I might put a bit more. Might use the whole thing. Okay. I'm going to make some little ears. Try and smooth them down. You can take as much time as you need with this bit. There's no rush. But have patience and have fun. Okay. Put that. Always fix it. If your hands get too sticky, you can use a bit of water to help smooth things along. There we go, and there's my cat. So I have it on a piece of parchment paper or greaseproof paper because it means that I can then put it onto a baking tray without smushing it too much. So now we're going to bake our salt dough at 120 degrees Celsius for about 1.5 hours, maybe to 2 hours, until it is completely dried out. Now it will be very hot when it comes out the oven, so you need to set it to cool down, but then you'll end up with something a bit like this. And from then on, you can paint it much in the way that I've done here. The rest of your salt dough, you can wrap in cling film and put in the fridge so that you can play a little bit more with the salt dough. And you can make some more things out of it. If you want to stick down your salt dough figurine, you'll need to use a hot glue gun, but you'll need an adult to help you with this. Finally, you'll have to have a think about what you would like to put in your memory box. There's no right or wrong answer. It's whatever helps you to remember some happy memories of your pet. So I've added a drawing of my cat to the inside of my box. I've also found some washi tape, which I thought had a really lovely message. I've also added some stickers. You could add a photo or a picture of their favourite place, or a thank you letter for all the good times that you had. Or you might want to make a list of memories. But it could also include a map of all your favourite places. It could be their collar. It could be a bag of treats. It could be some of their favourite toys. Again, it's whatever helps you remember them. I hope you enjoyed making your memory box today and that it's helped you feel calm and relaxed. And I hope, if you were feeling anxious, that this has also helped, in a little way, in managing your worries.